are the kind of people that, like, if they don't take first in something, they're not really satisfied with their performance.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why when they were preparing over the entire break, they were going, like, Winter Champ is going to be the first of many tournaments that I plan on taking. And they have done so. And I am excited to see how players with similar mentalities are going to be approaching these events as they go forth. But finally, we're here, hermisen and Aerial versus simpLe and Blue. Game number 1 of Winners Finals is now begun.
All right, and this is game number 1, as you said, because it is a best 3 out of 5 set.
Yes.
Whoever wins this set will be going into grand finals where they will be sitting with a nice advantage.
Absolutely, and Mammoth Fortress is going to be the first stage of which we're brawling on, and hermisen here on the brim with Aerial on his Sentinel. Ooh, fighting against simpLe, and simpLe showing off that ground pound combo that we saw Blaze used so well to be able to secure the previous match. And an amazing first strike coming here onto hermisen from Blue, and simpLe so lightly damaged here in game number 1. Aerial with a nice little recovery to put simpLe back towards the stage, but he is unfazed by that damage. Blue turning around with a neutral light to send Aerial off stage, and simpLe and Blue, when they sent Aerial off stage, they immediately go, we don't need to chase after that. Let's just focus on the opponent that is closest to us, and they put even more damage onto hermisen.
I love seeing those quick rotations.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since they're running double axe right now. It gives you a lot of aerial coverage, strong hits, lots of damage. Oh my gosh!
Toss.
And so much damage that Aerial takes out Blue, but quickly surrenders his own stock because hermisen wasn't going to let that sit.
Absolutely not. And now stocks are nearing even, but simpLe still got a little bit more damage to go before he loses the stock. Good neutralcy coming out from hermisen to be able to knock it onto Blue. Blue with the Katars is waiting at center stage to see what hermisen's going to do while simpLe edge guards Aerial. And a side sig onto hermisen, snipes him off the side of the stage. Just not expecting the reach of that powerful Prince signature, taking him out. And now it's looking like simpLe still, no, not dead. Okay, the recovery will finally do it, but that is the first stock for simpLe and a shutdown, showing that he has been the one that has been securing every single stock this game.
Man, incredibly dominating. And I mean, Bryn, she's got an amazing signature kit. And especially in 2v2s, that high speed stat that she has lets her rotate to make those conversions.
Ooh, Aerial falling to his death there as a result of the edge guard coming out from simpLe. Continuing that potential rampage he would have had if he didn't lose that first stock. And now hermisen trying to keep simpLe off the bottom of the stage while Aerial and Blue duke it out. Might not be the best idea here, as simpLe winning off stage despite being in a disadvantaged state. There is Aerial, however, taking the kill onto Blue, and it's looking like simpLe is going to be the stock tank here in this first game between these two titans of... Oh, okay, good recovery coming out from Blue onto Aerial.
All right, so the key to victory right here is hermisen needs to stay alive. He cannot leave Aerial alone in the 2v1. Perfect dodge through that signature. He knows how damaged he is, how dangerous simpLe can be.
Yes, and to add more onto that, they are both playing the same character, so they have that increased knowledge, but hermisen very quickly taken away by simpLe. And now it is a 3-to-stock-to-1 situation, and Aerial getting a nice stomp there.
All right, this gives him a little bit of breathing room. Is going to secure the KO? No, Blue just coming in, saving simpLe. Oh, but not for long.
There's the recovery. And Blue in the yellow, but Aerial with the Katars. Oh my gosh, getting the team combo off the respawn, being able to get that nice neutral light and the neutral sig to send him off the top of the map, and simpLe stays untouched while participating in the final KO there in game 1. Aerial and hermisen very dominantly destroyed here in this game. Like even though the stocks were, it wasn't like a 4 stock, it wasn't anything that crazy.
Right.
Hermisen was damaged and KO'd as soon as possible on all stocks, as we see right there. That's Sarah just jumping up and taking him out as he jumps from hit stun. Aerial trying to go for something here with that weapon toss, and the neutral stick just landing, covering. It covers landing on above him, in front of him, and behind if he's trying to go for the stage. He would have had to dodge through that flames, and if he didn't dodge through it, he'd have to jump. And since the jumps were gone, very excellent option coverage coming out from Blue here.
So it looks like we are changing over to a stage where he's got a little more options to recover down.
Quite a few, actually.
Swing wide over that breath of fire.
Yes, he's got the moving platforms on both sides, and as Duke highlighted a little bit earlier on in the bracket, Blackguard Keep not quite the same as it is in ones. It's probably not necessarily double the size, but it has twice as many platforms that are moving up and down on the other side. And you could kind of almost treat this as like 2 areas in which to participate in 1v1s while you're in your team dynamic. Like you don't have to always go for what we saw simpLe Blue doing so well on Mammoth Fortress, and that is knocking one opponent away so that they could focus on the 2v1.
Yeah, you can opt for those separate 1v1s or the quick team rotations, but I mean, Aerial and hermisen are just so much stage control every time they knock simpLe and Blue out. And I love Aerial's rotations with these Katars.
Ooh,
but hermisen just cleaning it up?
Okay, and simpLe staying on the right side of the stage to be able to... Oh, that neutral light hits both of his opponents into the recovery from Blue right as he respawns.
So much damage.
And now Blue's looking for those falling Sares, trying to get the very end of the hitbox to connect, and it does, but Blackguard keeping Ariel alive just a little bit longer. Recovery does not connect, and hermisen looking for the KO on simple. That Sare just barely does not touch him as he tosses his axe low, and the falling Sare will do it on the Ariel. Can they get the return kill? They 2 weapon tosses, 3 weapon tosses, doesn't find it. And they both dodge back to the stage to focus on the Ariel, saying that was good enough. If we go any further, we could potentially lose the stock. Oh, that side...
Perfect interruption. Blue saving simple's life, but Ariel with a quick rotation to not let it get away.
Ooh. And hermisen landing with the Sare, and Ariel being mindful of where his opponent was going to be knocked back to catch him with the neutral light on the hammer, putting so much damage onto Blue here on the second stock. Hermisen previously being the one that was annihilated immediately, holding onto the stock the longest. And now the blue team has a small lead here, but Ariel has to be so careful. There's plenty of places that he needs to run, but he just has to wait for hermisen to be able to find a weapon so that they can start working together again to take out Blue. Because I believe that's who they're focusing on, most of their efforts on getting the most damage on first.
I mean, if you look up at the top right corner, that is the one most quickly progressing towards the red. So if they can take him out, you know, you don't really have to deal with Ragnir's great fire breath signatures that cover their teammates so well.
Right, because like and it's so expensive having to use your movement options to get through that, especially when there's another person waiting to hit you once they're gone. It's a very important thing that you brought up there. Because even though Brent has similar signatures, they don't have quite the same properties. Blue getting a weapon spawn perfectly for him. That Sare was so close to being able to take hermisen off. And simple just barely living it out. It's so dead even. I feel like the team that takes the first 2 stocks off their opponents is going to be the team that definitely wins this game. So they are very much banking on being able to have this momentum here. The Sare's still not doing it.
Sentinel's got high defense. He will stay around. Oh, but the Haymaker sending him down to his final stock.
It's up to hermisen. He needs to be able to get a return stock here. Otherwise, it's looking like red team will be able to run away with it. Simple getting hit by that spear toss. Hermisen still holding on to his second stock. Ooh, that gravity gets a side sig, just not reaching far enough. Very quickly swat away, but still not dead. Ariel with the save. That neutral light was so well placed, and because of it, they have the stock lead. That Sare was sending hermisen rocketing to the right and caught in midair, intercepted by Ariel's fists, and now simple is trying to find this kill on the hermisen, but every downer that he gets will be so huge. Okay, the neutral light gets it. Ariel manages to recover and chase dodge through them, but he's taking so much damage. No, down air simple off stage. Great job navigating between the 2 opponents that he had there as hermisen looked for a spear, but now so much damage unarmed coming out from Blue.
I mean, hermisen just going straight into deep yellow. Simple and Blue just rotated so quickly into those team combos, the axe setups into guaranteed unarmed damage, and Blue is still just happy to fight unarmed. I don't know if he hasn't been able to find a weapon, but he's not showing any fear.
Absolutely not. No, he's just going for recovery and a side stick onto his teammate. Doesn't even matter. He's just punching everybody that's around him. hermisen getting hit by that weapon toss, and Ariel's so close to death. Has to avoid that weapon toss, and hermisen covering Simple as Ariel manages to come back to the stage, and now Simple has to be careful about losing the stock here, because even though Ariel's so damaged, okay, there we go. Loses the stock. hermisen getting hit by a down air and getting disarmed, but picks up his own axe, and that's an easy punish onto that neutral stick. 2 down airs. The second one does not connect, and Simple runs for his life, knowing that Blue has a lot more stock to work with than he does. Sare connects. Every hit counts onto hermisen.
Trying to find his way back onto stage, but this pressure, I mean, Simple behind, being able to toss support items in for Blue. Oh, and that axe recovery, covering so much area.
And a great mix-up from Blue there, too, because I think what he was expecting from the axe was a falling Sare. This is what's most comfortable, like double jump, fall, initiate your fast fall, and then Sare on the way down so that when you land on the platform, it extends a little bit forward. But instead, he just went for the recovery to read the jump, and it worked out so well. It's very scary using the platforms for safety because, yes, it's separate from the main stage, but you're that much closer to the blast zone. And if anything happens to you right here, we see him trying to jump out of the way of the Sare. Recovery just hits. Can't even react to it because Blue was so close to him.
Yeah, and that's definitely a habit that he seemed to pick up on. Because the few other times that he went out to go for weapon throws or some of those side airs, it seemed like he was just jumping up. And just perfect read with that axe recovery. So we do have a hermisen locking with the Ragnir, Ariel with the Sentinel. I do really like the Sentinel pick. You don't see him too often, but he's got a lot of great signatures. You can make his stats pretty balanced there. even still just focused on defense and speed.
Yeah, actually, that's incredible. I didn't even think about how perfectly that works out with dexterity, and it unlocks a lot of potential with the guitars to make things a lot easier to hit than they would be on 4dex. It was changing stats gets more drastic the closer you are to 5.
Right.
And that's why having that little point in there from the defense. And if he doesn't feel like he needs it, then he definitely doesn't. And he's been holding on to his stocks for a while. Last game looked a little worse as he started taking a beating and started going like, maybe that defense would help me out here because he is getting left and right. Blue trying to get that sidelight onto Hermisen, but just a little bit too early on the move. Neutral light sends Hermisen off the side of the stage. No side sig, and Hermisen looking for those down sigs. Sends him into Aerial. Aerial combo going onto Hermisen, and the weapon toss just barely dodges out of the way. Can simpLe get the down air finish? No. Goes for the Sarah instead, and Hermisen just barely dodges out of the way and goes for that ground pound instead.
Oh, weapon throw interrupting that signature. Saved his own life, but simpLe.
Oh, simpLe.
Quickly returning the favor.
Going back to that place where he's like, you know what? I need the rampage status that we had in game number 1. Game 2 didn't feel right to me, and now he's already opened it up with an amazing double knockout as he was able to take out both Aerial and Hermisen back to back. Blue and simpLe throwing out nairs left and right, and the recovery delaying it for the spot dodge and the down air to punish the neutral sig. Aerial now trying desperately to find any sort of finisher to be able to claw his way back into this game, knowing that they're going to be going into losers finals if they're not able to solve this. But no, they cannot find any finishers. Another Sarah connects onto Hermisen, and Blue and simpLe are just going and making such quick work of him. The dip down rising Sarah to go with the dominating. Is this going to be another double KO? It definitely
is. Out the dodge, and there it is.
4 KOs in a row for simpLe here. Blue's knocked out.
Red team just lost their first stock, and Aerial and Hermisen are about to be knocked out. This is insane.
simpLe getting hit by that recovery from the guitars, but still not losing his first stock here. And the sidelight hits both Aerial and Hermisen as Blue lands with that axe ground pound. Neutral stick finally shuts down his opponent, but at what cost? He's here in orange at the last stock of his winner's bracket run.
The cost was about 4 stocks.
4 stocks and some change.
4 stocks before you shut him down.
Ooh, but that stomp, it hit both of his opponents there and able to get a nice little bit of damage. Side stick connects on a simpLe, but Blue does not seem to care. It's good to be able to see teammates that go, like, even when they know they don't mean to hit each other, when the connects happen, they try to make the best out of it. And, well, that's side stick connecting.
And the Aerial stands alone. But for how long? I mean, look at this offstage pressure.
Blue and simpLe really do not care about the positioning of their teammates. He literally ground pounded his teammate. It just didn't matter. It actually put him in a position to where he could edge guard. Like, I really want to believe that he hit him with the ground pound to rocket him in a place where they could finish taking Aerial's stock, because that was so neat.
It's the fastball special. And I mean, that was an insanely fast game.
Yes.
For the quick 3-0 in winners finals, that one was just a blitz of a game.